Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Ironic Podcast.
Wrong channel, Claude. We're not doing the Ironic Podcast anymore, remember?
I'm sorry.
Remember,
It was a force of habit.
It happens to the best of us. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the 4th episode of the Feencast. Yes, I'm going to continue the Feencast, and yes, we are on episode 4. Today, my special guest that I have here today is Mr. Claude. Some of you guys may remember him as whatever character he is, mostly as Combat Weaver Ant, Moody Blues.irony, or if you are on Instagram and YouTube, you follow him and subscribe to him on YouTube, the Milkshake Man. Claude?
Hello, everybody. It is truly a wonderful experience to be here on Fern's podcast.
Yes.
Especially since, the other podcast that we had didn't go through ended.
Yeah, it's actually, one of the first things we need to talk about, because people are still asking. Surprisingly, it's not every day, but it's like kind of like specs.
It's still common enough. Even I have people asking about it.
Yeah. So what happened? What's the truth behind the real truth behind the Ironic Podcast, the tip?
Well, there's one word I have to give you, Fern, and that is scheduling. The scheduling when it came to recording these episodes was fucking impossible to work with. Everybody was always doing something when we actually agreed to a time.
Yep.
Whether it be you working, Justin doing like some of his college classes, Trevin, I don't know what the fuck he would be doing. It was just, we never had time. And there was a point where I was trying to get an episode done, but everybody wasn't even open. I was about to be not open because there was things with my family going on, so I just decided, we all mutually agreed, I should say, to just end it. Not touch the art, just let it sit.
Yeah, just like the Mona Lisa, covered in plastic, so nobody, even if they touch it, doesn't get affected. The channel, the Ironic Podcast channel, is still there. If you guys want to watch some episodes, I'll link them in the description. I have 2 or 3 episodes on my channel if you guys want to watch them. They're not getting deleted. They're not getting archived. They're up there if you want to listen to all the bullshit we would talk about. Basically, all we would talk about is just Boosie Fade drama. Instagram drama, Discord drama. You guys won't know what's going on, but I mean, they're there if you want to watch them. There's a
which was one of my main problems with the podcast as well. It wasn't the reason why it was cut. Obviously, that was just because of the scheduling, but the main problem that I had with the topics when it came to the podcast is that it was always about like Feencast, or it was always about Discord or Instagram drama, and
not everybody knows the shit behind it.
Exactly.
So it's one of the reasons that also broke the straws that broke the camel's back as well. It's like Claude said, I have a job, so I have to work. My dearies are weird. Trevin, he's jobless and he doesn't want to show up. And then we have Justin, he's in college and he has classes. And Claude, he's got stuff with his family, so we couldn't always, make time, unfortunately. So I would agree with you, and I would say that it was a mutual agreement to just end it. I did want to bring it back, but, it's already, the art should be left untouched.
It's done. At this point,
just leave it.
I don't plan on bringing it back.
There's always ideas for another one, but it can't be the Ironic Podcast. Not only that, to my surprise, Claude found out before me. I don't know how. Oh no, because they commented on your channel, on the Ironic Podcast channel. There's apparently another Ironic Podcast channel, but those guys are like a bunch of 13 years. From 8 years ago, and they're a bunch of 13-year-olds compared to us. We're a bunch of 20-year-olds in Claude, and we're just talking about other shit. And
wow, okay.
I mean, to be fair, at the time of recording the episodes, we were like 17. compared to these guys in the other channel who were like 12 years old, 13 years old, like 8 years ago, grown ass men, you know.
Yeah, the grown ass men now.
Yeah, but they have like 300 subscribers. Not the thing, it's whatever. They have their own podcast, whatever. The thing is, the last time they were active was like 8 years ago, 2018. Claude uploaded one of the episodes, and then they comment and they're like, we're gonna follow with legal action. You know, there can't be the two of us. And then, you know, it's like, who the fuck are you guys? Who the fuck is that guy? Like Conor McGregor would say. Honestly, because I didn't know that was a channel. I didn't know these people were real.
Me neither. I mean, even before I made, you know, the show, even before the pre-planning for it, I looked up the Ironic podcast on YouTube, and nothing showed up. There was the Iconic podcast, but not the Ironic podcast. So I thought it was safe. I thought nobody used the name.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess they just felt like the spiritual. I really don't know how to say it. They're probably like just on YouTube seeing what it was about. Like, oh, I wonder how our channel's doing. And then they saw us, and they're like, all right, where the fuck are these guys? Obviously, we're the more superior because we're cool.
Yeah, we were better
compared to them. They were fucking. I don't know. They were weird, to be honest. But it's over for the Ironic podcast. You know, yeah. Another reason is because when we uploaded them, we mentioned drama, and we not accidentally, because we did like full on name drop some people. So I'm gonna just put it out there. These two people, let's see, Undertaker and Kane, they fucking double teamed my YouTube channel, and they got me like a massive flag because, you know, I don't know what they did, but they didn't like their names we mentioned. I don't blame them, but they double teamed my channel. So I got like a big strike there. So like because of them also we had to like take down I had to archive some episodes, and that was another reason because like if we mentioned them, I guess like the episode would just do shit compared to like regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately,
like the thing is that it got to a point eventually where I didn't even want to mention people in the episodes, but like the natural course is that everybody eventually just always mentioned like Instagram and Discord drama, and you know, I didn't want that to be what the podcast is about because only like 12 people would actually understand what the fuck we're talking about. For you even have an anecdotal story about this.
True, I do.
Like Fern's friend was talking about how he was listening to the podcast episode on his way to work. But the thing is that there were certain parts.
Oh wait, no.
He
was listening to the Feencast episode, but I have another coworker that was listening to the Ironic podcast episodes, and he was like, "Yo, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but it's funny as fuck." And it's like shit, like the drama. Nobody knows what's going on except for these 12 people specifically. If you're in Fiend Court, if you know, like it's like if you know, you know.
Exactly, and I didn't want that to be what the podcast was. I wanted it to be actual, like, broad topics. Because I mean, like, if people wanted to hear our takes on shit that is actually happening, like in our specific friend group, then they can just ask us. There's no reason to make an entire fucking podcast about it where only they would understand it.
Oh yeah, and you know that's why it's another reason why the Ironic podcast wouldn't really take off like we wanted to. It would just limbo. It would get views, no cap, because you know we gotta promote that shit. But
it did get views, but it got no likes because people didn't understand what the fuck we were talking about.
They didn't want the algorithm. They didn't want us back in the algorithm. So you know, and barely got any comments, except for the people that know. You know, if you know, you know.
Exactly.
And you know, that shit. You know, it ain't gonna fly. So that's why we all mutually agreed, you know, mostly me, Claude, and Justin, because Trevin was just kind of like iffy about it. Let's be real here. He was iffy about it. He only came on in like 1 or 2 episodes.
He only came on in one, man.
Well, there you go.
Listen, I don't hate Trevin, but
me neither.
He was late. He came in about halfway.
Yeah.
No, actually later than halfway into the episode. Now, keep in mind, that episode, which was the third episode, which is, in my opinion, the best one.
Could you repeat yourself, Claude? You lagged out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Like, that episode was an hour and 30 minutes long.
Oh, yeah, it was the fourth episode, right? Or the third episode?
It was the third episode. It was an hour and a half long, and Trevin came in about a little bit later than halfway through. So he came in at about like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't gonna make it, in all honesty. Unfortunately. And that, if you guys surprisingly watched the last episode that we had, the shit show episode, it was just me, Justin, and Claude, you know, the regular hosts. And then Evan joined. I mean, it's whatever, I guess. And then Owen joined. And, you know, if you know, you know. At that point, sorry, I can't say it. But if you know, you know. And that episode was just a shit show. It was like 2 hours long. Cut down to like an hour and 20 minutes.
That episode was fucking horrid. Evan came in because we couldn't get a hold of Trevin. So we had Evan swap in.
We had a sub in, yeah.
And no offense to Owen, it wasn't necessarily his fault. But as soon as he joined, even before he joined, it was terrible. I mean, Justin wasn't even paying attention. The topics were not good. I'll admit here first, the topics were not good, mainly because we were all doing that shit. The thing is that before every single episode, we all have the topics set, except for that one. That one, it was all like complete improv. We had nothing. We had nothing to go by.
Yep.
So that didn't help matters either. And then when Owen joined, I think it actually got a little bit better when Owen joined, and then like a few minutes after that, it just completely derailed into like a bunch of Discord and Instagram drama. So I had to cut it short. There is, believe it or not, there is 40 minutes of missing footage. 40 minutes of cut footage from that episode because it was that bad.
Honestly, like Claude said, it was just nothing but improv. It was just fucking...
It was.
It was terrible.
We had no topics, which was indeed my fault because I was not expecting this to happen.
Claude tried saving it, and, you know, it was just terrible. Trevin fucking didn't help at all. Evan didn't help. Owen definitely didn't help, and for sure Justin did nothing to help. And that was one of the worst episodes ever.
The thing is that when it comes down to it, I don't want to really want to knock Trevin for that one. In fairness, yeah, was he being very uncooperative when he didn't even like say anything about his status?
True.
But he could have had something going on. He could have had like an exam or some shit.
Oh yeah,
I didn't really want to.
Forgot he was in school around that time.
Yeah.
My fault, Trevin. But would you be open to making another podcast? Like, with actual, like, scheduling ahead and, you know, appointments and shit ahead?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, basically, my two qualifications... I only have, like, two different qualifications for being in another podcast. I would do another podcast in two conditions. One, the scheduling is extremely consistent. It's finite. It's set in stone. And two, we don't talk about anything like Discord or Instagram drama related. It's like actual topics that people are capable of knowing about. Those are my only two conditions. If those conditions are met, I'd absolutely love to do another podcast. I mean, I love podcasts. I love talking in general. I'm just a talkative person.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, well, I already have this one going, but I wouldn't mind being in another podcast, like with a group. My coworkers actually mentioned it too. They were like, "Yo, we should have like a podcast with like a couple of us," and I was like, "I'd be down to be part of that." Because I agree with you. Like me personally, I'm a talkative person when I want to be, and podcast just shooting the shit. I said that if I make another podcast or if I'm a part of a podcast, like I would like the name to be Shooting the Shit Podcast, STS, because I mean you're literally shooting the shit with people, and you're just for what, like an hour. Let's say the upload's gonna be for 2 hours, guys. So we're gonna be shooting the shit for 2 hours. Like that would be pretty good. Story times, just talking about random shit that's happening. Like that'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of what this podcast is. But like, I like the formula of the Feencast, and I think with multiple people, yeah, I think that'd be great.
Oh yeah. So this one's more like a. I don't want to say.
It's more
I want
relaxed.
to play. Yeah, it's more relaxed, more chill, more civilized, if you will, compared to other ones.
Yeah. That's the reason why, for a little bit, the Feencast and the Ironic podcast kind of coexisted, because these two, they were completely different. The Ironic podcast, it was complete chaos, and in my opinion, that was one of the things that,
Fun.
that was one of the draws of it. It was just complete and utter chaos, and then you had the Feencast to contrast it, where it's very chill. It's very
like a yin yang kind of.
Yeah.
So there you guys have the full truth. Why the podcast, couldn't, go away. And, pretty much. But I want to know right now, Buccaneers, what are your thoughts on them going on right now?
I mean, the thing is that I can't tell if we're actually going to do something this year. Because for the watchers, for the viewers, yes, I am a Buccaneers fan. In fact, I literally live in Florida. I can't tell if we're actually going to do something this season, because every single one of our games have been close. I can't tell if we're good. I can't tell if we're mid. It's just impossible to tell. I will admit, I shitted on Baker Mayfield this year. When I saw that he had a $30 million contract, I was genuinely livid. But I will admit, I will put on the fucking clown makeup right now. I was wrong. Baker Mayfield deserves the hype. He's an amazing quarterback. One of the best we've ever had.
Me personally, they can never make me hate Baker Mayfield. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I was a fan of him for the little time I got to see him in college, back in the Sooners. Fucking goated. NFL, pretty good with the Browns until, they just gave up on him. He got injured. They made him play when he was injured. They ruined him. Then they got rid of him. Kind of freaking crazy. Browns will be Browns, unfortunately. People that don't know, most of you should know, I am a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Yes, we're dog shit. I literally mentioned in the last episode, they sent me to cardiac arrest. But nowhere near as bad as the Browns. Browns will be Browns. They threw out Baker Mayfield. He bounced around to the Panthers. Kind of sucked there, I'm not gonna lie, but because he was only there for a little bit.
It's the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers. They cut him. Then he went with the Rams. He did a beautiful comeback game with the Rams. He was only there for like a couple days. He learned the playbook in a couple days. Then went to Buccaneers for one season. Did really, really good. Surprised everybody. He got himself a contract, and he's doing pretty good right now. The games are close. I am not gonna lie to you. They're pretty close, but he's still winning games, and he's still proving to everybody that he's a good quarterback.
Now, keep in mind, viewers, I am not only a Buccaneers fan, but I am also an Alabama fan.
Oh,
so for one weekend, I had to deal with the Alabama and Vanderbilt game, an extremely close game, and the Buccaneers and Seahawks game, another extremely close game. My heart could not handle it.
Yep.
It was genuine torture, especially since the only reason the Buccaneers won the Seahawks game is because Sam Darnold threw an interception at the end of the game.
Can't lie though, Sam Darnold's doing pretty good.
You would have lost.
True, but can't lie, Sam Darnold's also pretty good. Ever since last year,
he's an incredible quarterback. It was an incredible game.
It was a good
especially because it had the retro uniforms. Now, I am one of the few members of the Buccaneers fan base who absolutely hates the original logo.
Kind of crazy.
I think it looks gay. But I will gladly admit, the original Buccaneers the original uniforms were beautiful. And I will say right now, the original Seahawks logo is better than the current one. That is my hot take of the day.
The old ones are better than the new ones, or the new ones are better than the old ones?
For the Buccaneers, the new one is better than the original. Although, in my opinion, the best Buccaneer logo was the late '90s one.
Ah, yes. That one looked a little bit more aggressive than the pirate with the knife in his mouth and the one that's kind of now.
Yeah, though the one that it is now, it's a little bit more corporate. It doesn't have all the edges. I still like it,
but not as good.
But
as
the late '90s one would never be. And the Seahawks, it is the exact opposite. I think the original logo is far better than the one that they have now. I understand they're never going to go back to the original logo because they won a Lombardi with the new logo, the Legion of Boom, all of that. Mm-hmm. So I understand why they have to keep the new logo. It's the same thing with Golden State, the Golden State Warriors. I mean, everybody knows that the Warriors logo in the 2000s was way fucking better. Mm-hmm. But they won so many rings with the new logo. And that's how most sports teams do it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't think that's how it works, but it is. Sports teams will stay with the logo that they won with.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I'm not a big basketball guy, to be honest. I don't know if you can tell or not. I'm not a big basketball guy.
Which is entirely fair. Adam Silver is ruining the fucking sport.
I think Jason Tatum's pretty okay, I guess. I don't know that many players. I just know Jason Tatum. Maybe like Mike.
I fucking hate Jason Tatum. And there's one reason why. First of all, he's very overrated. Mm-hmm. Second of all those fucking people where he was mid in his first year, they were all commenting, "Oh, he's 19, give him time." No, I'm not going to give him time. He's terrible. He was mid, and the only reason he won that ring last year was because he had amazing teammates. He had fucking
Which one? The one from last year where they beat the Mavs?
Yes, that ring. He had fucking Kristaps Porzingis. Of course he won it all. Kristaps is the best player on that set. Yes, Tingus Pingus is the best player on that team.
What happened?
I don't understand how anybody could say it's Jason Tatum.
What happened to him?
What happened to him? Well, I know last year. That last year he got injured pretty bad. I think he missed like most of the season because of that.
Damn.
And then obviously it caused the Celtics to lose to the Knicks. Mm-hmm. I think it was the Knicks that they lost to last playoffs. I don't quite remember.
Wow. Like I said, I'm not a basketball fan. I can't tell you. I'm not gonna lie.
Which is fair. It's not for everybody.
True. Just like soccer and golf and hockey and I don't
even think soccer,
but the WNBA.
Soccer is, I don't understand how anybody can like soccer. I like hockey. I enjoy hockey quite a lot. It's probably like the most physical sport out of any of the big four sports that exist.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
I've had many experiences, many paranormal experiences, and because of these experiences, I have literally no choice but to believe in the paranormal. Mm-hmm. So, my first story, and this is the main thing that has always made me believe in it, was that this was freshman year. This was 4 years ago. I see like silhouettes, mm-hmm. just straight black shadows of people while walking around the school. Now, I was horrified, not because I was seeing a ghost. I thought I was genuinely going schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. But as soon, I was having a breakdown about it. So I went to the office. I went to the front office, and they told me that there were multiple students that saw the same thing.
Oh, shit.
That was the moment I realized, okay, I don't think I was having a vision or a schizophrenic hallucination. What I was seeing was just straight up ghost. Because if multiple people saw the exact same thing that I was describing, then yeah.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie. The other day, well, I don't want to say it out there, but I kind of told my coworkers, because it happened like when I was doing the morning shift. We walk in to where we're supposed to be at, get our stuff, and maybe like an hour into the morning shift, it was like 7:30 in the morning. So there's always traffic, so there's always like stuff going on. I'm gonna ignore that notification. There's always stuff going on. I remember it was a Sunday morning, so it wasn't that bad. So I'm sitting. Well, no, actually, I'm standing up, and I'm looking south, and there's like these little hallways over where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So in the corner of my eye, I see a man in all black just quickly like run past into the other hallway. So
yeah, I'm done. I'm putting my resignation in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not even the scariest thing. They've seen worse, but that's what I saw. So I look to my left real quick, and I see nothing. So I pass by, and the people that are there, they're all asleep. So I'm like, hey, did anybody just walk past? And they're like, no. So I go and I investigate myself, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm not even tired. I had woken up like at 2 a.m. So I was like wide awake for the whole shift. So I'm like, okay, maybe I am seeing some shit. So I actually have a coworker. I'm gonna shout him out here. My shout out won't do anything big, but I'm gonna shout him out. He does paranormal investigations, like for real. TPI. It's funny because it's like the Iran podcast tip, but his is TPI. It's Torres Paranormal Investigation. He's gonna get mad if I say Torres. I'm gonna say Torres Paranormal Investigation. So he actually does investigations here in Laredo. Pretty fucking cool. Actually, he told me he did one in Rio Bravo as well. So like I would say like Laredo, Webb County, I guess, where I'm at. So he said that I told him about it. So I was like, hey Torres, the other day, I kind of forgot what he said, but it was like something like, oh yeah, that happens. So I was like, oh shit, okay, it's a normal thing then. I'm just tripping over it.
That's just you gotta be fucking. That's the reason why I'll never work in a prison. Every single one of them, from what I've heard, is extremely damn haunted.
Yeah,
every single
I know
one.
Manny's seen some haunted shit too over there in Geo.
Like every single one, I've always heard stories about it being haunted.
It's good. Especially it's mostly like if you think about it, like prison facilities, like the Texas Criminal Justice Department of Criminal Justice, where they send all the prisoners, like the big dogs. Those places, they're actually like really, really freaking haunted. Like I want to say poltergeist, because Manny said something was moving when he was over there, compared to like with me, where it's just like maybe spirits that are like they haven't finished their business yet. Like I said, I've only seen one thing, and that was that moment. It was in the morning, and I told my coworker, he was my FTO, my field training officer, and like I mentioned, he does paranormal investigations, and I believe in that shit, so I believe what he tells me. So I told him, like, hey, I saw this, and he's like, okay, oh, you seen it too? Oh, okay, like it's like the usual. He's been there longer than me, of course, so he's seen a lot more shit compared to me.
He says it so nonchalantly. It's just like, you saw a literal shadow figure run past you. Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that there's a little girl somewhere there. I don't know where, but in one of the floors, there's a little girl there. So I'm like,
I don't know. Huh. I don't know why, but like, I have a very like irrational fear of like ghosts that look like little girls. Whenever I see that in a fucking horror movie, I'm always freaked out.
Oh, especially if they're little
like,
kids, yeah.
Yeah, if they portray like the ghost as like a little kid, hell no. I'm running out of there.
Yeah, no, fucking like horror movies or in general, like, oh, it's a little girl or it's a little boy. Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm out. I don't play with that shit because they freak me out the most because they're the most mischievous and they like to play around a lot. So, you know, like throwing in the white towel when it comes to spirit kids. But unfortunately, that just means, you know, like they're mischievous, they're little kids, but they got like some business they haven't finished yet. I know
a majority of the time, whenever it's a little kid, from what I've heard, it's just a fucking demon.
Oh yeah, demons can portray themselves as kids. I know that for sure. But I like to think that most of the time, you know, these kids, you know, they were taken too fast and they just got unfinished business, I guess, to finish.
Well, take your unfinished business somewhere else. I'm not fucking dealing with that.
Yeah, like my house, it's not haunted, but there's times where you can hear people talking and like movement in the room. Like earlier when I woke up like at 7, nobody was upstairs in my room, and I'm downstairs in the room below me in my mom's room, and I heard walking, and I was like, yeah, that's not the house, that's not the wood, that's like actual like footsteps. So like earlier when I was walking up here to turn on the PC to continue editing an video, you know, I heard them again. So when I bursted the door open, I looked around and like it was nothing. So I was like, all right. Like,
you know, now that you mention it, I'm not bullshitting when I say this. I thought it was just because you like left your door open or something. I heard like chatter going on while you were walking up here.
Oh no, that was my phone. That was my phone. I was watching a video.
Oh, that was your phone?
Yeah, that was my phone.
Okay.
Whenever I leave the room or I'm like going somewhere, I always take my phone with me, and I'm usually always watching a video. So yeah, no,
that makes much more sense.
No, yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, but there's times where I hear chattering.
I was about to say, I was just like, did I hear a fucking ghost over a Discord call? I didn't even think that was possible.
No, they're when you hear them talking, it sounds like a lot of people. Torres also told me something like that, but it means like there's like a gathering of spirits. I think he told me something like that. But whenever it's here in my room, I always hear like when I talk at work to the other people. Not my coworkers, to the other people, and when I talk out in the street with like random people, like it's a really deep, really deep voice, and I'm like, I'm in the next room and I'm like, holy shit, that freaks me. But it's like really muffled, but you can still hear it, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's freaky. Because I mentioned this last time, but like not a lot of people know that someone killed themselves here in my house in the room next to mine. It was a priest. Really freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few paranormal experiences. There was another one. It didn't happen to me specifically, but I did witness it. So in my old house that I grew up in Maryland, it had a library. Now the library, I always went in there just to like hang out for no reason. And my brother was in there. And one day, while he was walking around in the library, he got a like very sudden like burn on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like a straight up burn mark. He didn't do anything to do that. There was nothing that he did. He didn't like roll on the floor or anything. He just randomly got it. He just randomly felt that his arm was burning, and he looked and he saw it there.
No shit.
Now, obviously, I was like 6 or 7 years old, so I didn't understand the connotations at that time. I didn't understand what the fuck was happening. I just moved on with my day.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Now, I'm fairly certain that house, there was something dark in that fucking house, because the house had a basement. It wasn't a very traditional basement, because it had rooms and multiple light outside, because the house was on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you enter that fucking basement, the vibes were just completely different. I was not the only one that was scared to go into that basement alone, because I was a kid. Literally everybody that was in that house was scared to go down there alone at night. Now, my oldest brother, he had a room. His room was down there. And he's had multiple dreams, multiple night terrors about like apparitions, ghosts, like strange creatures. He eventually got to a point where he had to sleep with his bedroom door open.
Oh shit, really?
Because, he always saw shit whenever he was like woke up in the middle of the night.
Uh-huh.
He had like one specific dream where where his soul like went out of his body.
Like astral projection?
Like, kind of, yes. And he saw a woman that was just like, it's too late.
Oh shit.
And then he woke up in like a complete fucking sweat. And keep in mind, he also saw like various apparitions in that basement. Now, I never had any paranormal experiences myself down there. I don't think any of the other members of my family did, besides him. But there was just something off about that basement. And there's another one that also happened to my family. I was not alive for this one, but my family lived in a house that had a poltergeist in it. So what he did, the poltergeist would always turn on the bathroom light and then randomly flush the toilet in the middle of the night.
Oh shit.
There was a few specific incidents. So first of all, there was one time where my oldest brother again was sleeping. He heard a breath, and then his bed suddenly moved forward, completely out of nowhere.
Damn.
And there was nobody in front of him. He didn't see anybody in front of him. There was another time where the door creaked open from my other brother. He said that the door sometimes creaked open. My mother had probably the biggest attack where the said ghost threw an entire bag of makeup and a wine glass at her. They just suddenly flew through the fucking room.
Damn. No, fuck that shit. That's a mean ass poltergeist. Some powerful shit, if you will.
Yeah. It was quite hard to deal with, from what they said.
Yeah, poltergeist. I read somewhere how to get rid of a poltergeist, but like I said, my coworker Torres, he would know better because he actually, does all that. But I've read, it's just difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Now, there's another one. This doesn't actually have to do with anything that's haunted. It was more of just a story about a place that is haunted, that is supposedly haunted. I don't know for sure. So, me and my friends, we were going to go to this abandoned house.
Mm-hmm.
And, my friend was just like, oh yeah, it's so haunted. And so I was just like, okay, it's not that serious. So we kept going for a little bit. And then my other friend told me, yeah, there's like bats and there's like poisonous bats and armadillos and rats and spiders and shit. So I was just like, oh, hell no. I am not going in there. Come to find out, when I did research on that house later, it's apparently, it's known as the Face Eater House.
The Face
Eater House? The Face Eater House, yes. Because what happened in that home was two teenagers broke into this man's house.
Okay.
Killed him.
Oh, fuck.
And ate the skin off of They cut the skin off of his face and ate it. Like some Leatherface shit.
Uh-huh. What going on in Miami, bro?
His ghost still supposedly haunts that place. but I don't know for certain. I was going to take the chance when I heard that there was a bunch of like poisonous bats and shit. Apparently, it's like a common place where people do like drugs and all that, obviously,
shoot up.
because nobody actually took the house after the murder happened, which I guess you could say maybe
they're rotting.
Yeah, it was just there rotting, which I guess you could maybe say that's like evidence. Oh yeah, maybe somebody did buy it and they left because it was haunted. Maybe so. I don't know. I never went in there, but I just thought it was interesting that it's alleged to be haunted. There was a literal murder that happened, and it's not a widely known murder too. Apparently, not a lot of people know about the Face Eater house.
Yeah, what the fuck going on in Miami, bro? Fuck, that's actually really fucking creepy.
Oh yeah, the case is fucking gruesome. I don't know how anybody would come up with the sick fucking idea to break into a man's house, rip off the skin from his face. Keep in mind, they ripped off his skin while he was alive and then killed him.
God damn.
Which is like the most gruesome part, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, that's fucking. You're fucking eating. Well, they're eating flesh, and the guy, he's still alive, so he can feel everything that's happening to him.
No, it's even worse. They skinned his face.
Oh, I thought they were eating
They
like
skinned
straight
his
off.
face. No, they weren't eating it straight off. They skinned his face while he was alive.
Oh my God.
And then killed him and ate the skin.
Fuck going on with these people, bro? Why I want to know why they did that shit. What's the psychology? That's always whenever I think about some shit, I'm always like, what's the psychology going on behind the brain? Like, what were the motives? Like, why did they want to do that? And that's what I always think about when it comes to shit like that.
I mean, the most insane part about it, besides the murder itself, I believe one of the teens got life.
Oh, they were caught.
And one of the teens they were caught. Yeah, one of the teens got life, and then one of the other teen got only 4 years and was able to walk.
Oh hell no!
They were able to walk free. And supposedly, I don't know if this is true. I just saw this on like this was just like random hearsay. Supposedly, he like changed his name, got a plastic surgery, etc.
Changed his life around, everything. Like literally changed his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
It's quite the tale. And the fact that it only happened like a few neighborhoods near me.
Yikes. Fuck that shit. It's crazy that lately I've been having a lot of nightmares lately. It's kind of crazy. I had the nightmare the other day that I was a priest. And then like literally when I woke up this afternoon, I dreamt that I was like, I wasn't the serial killer or I wasn't the victim. But it's like I had POV like watching a movie, watching it all happen. And then it randomly happened to me. It's really weird. I've been having nightmares nonstop. I don't know why. I haven't even been taking melatonin either. Just some shit that's been happening.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes get nightmares. Every single time, it's just really fucking creepy. There was one nightmare I had where, God, it's so hard to remember. Like, I can remember bits and pieces of it. But, like, I was walking through what was my school. This is, for some reason, even though this was, like, 2 years ago, so I was 16 years old, I was a middle schooler in the dream when I was walking through my middle school. Kind of. It looked a little different. All the lights were off. There was nobody there. And I could just feel that something was watching me. I don't know what. I never even saw what the fuck was actually looking at me. It was just going after me. There was also another nightmare that I had. I actually had it multiple times. Easily the worst dream I've ever had. I've actually said this before on one of the earlier T.I.P. episodes. So I was walking through a hallway. It kind of looked like an interrogation room. And so I was walking through that, and then suddenly there was gas that filled the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then while I was running through the hallway, suddenly I lost control of my arms. I couldn't feel my arms, so I was just like, okay.
Like you went limp.
Then I lost control. Then my left leg went numb, so I was just limping. And then all of my legs went numb. I could feel, I was basically being paralyzed throughout my entire body, just fucking laying there. It was the most I've ever sweated in my entire life. There was like a entire puddle of just cold sweat. It was genuinely the most horrifying experience of my life, and it was. The worst part is that I had the dream multiple times. It was fucking horrifying.
Did you ever look it up what it might be? It's gonna sound corny, but did you ever ask ChatGPT what it meant? Because I asked it about the one where I was a priest. Well, right now I'll say the story, but did you ever look it up?
No, I never did. Because I mean, like, what could it possibly even mean?
ChatGPT
Like,
told me
I'm
about
afraid
mine.
of being paralyzed. I don't really have any reason to be afraid of that.
ChatGPT, I mean, honestly, it made me think about my shit. And when I looked into it and I thought about it, I was like, oh shit, okay, this kind of makes sense, but it, you gotta really think about it. Like from like the nightmare I had the other day where I was a priest. Cause I posted on my story and then people were asking me like, what's the story time? And I'm like, what's the story behind it? And I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know what it meant. So basically this was the dream. Well, I wouldn't say a dream or a nightmare. It was just a dream, right? So I dreamt that I was actually a priest. And for people that don't know, like back in like 9th grade, I wanted to become a priest. Like a literal priest. So in my dream, I dreamt I was like 30, 40 years old. And I was a priest already. And there's this woman in New York. She calls me and she's like, I need your help. My daughter, she's possessed. I don't know what's going on with her, but please help me fast. And I was like, ma'am, I'm in Laredo, Texas, ma'am. I'll have to see if I can go to, where you're at. And she's like, please, I need your help. Somehow, I make the trip. I go to New York. But she's in, like, this very, like, ruined old town part of New York. Like, I don't know if I doubt you've ever seen the movie The Rite. Or with the Exorcism.
The Bronx.
It's kind of like, think of, like, old school Scotland and Ireland. Like, rock houses and everything. Moss growing over the houses and everything. Surprisingly, they're still living there. It's kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I pull up and like the mom is there, and I've never seen these women before in my life, but it said that like baby people that you've seen, like you don't remember, but you saw them once. They're in your dreams. Never seen them before. I get there, the mom, she's like in tears, about to break down, telling me that the daughter needs help and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. So I like, all right, I got this. Like I go to the room, and she's possessed. Like basically The Exorcist. She was tied to the bed and everything. So I brought out what I brought with me. So for some reason, I had a cloth of Archangel Michael, a cloth that he wore. People said that he was the right-hand man of God, that he was the one that would fight all the battles. Mm-hmm. I had a rosary made of complete silver. I didn't like, at that point I was like, it's silver. Like I was like, it's silver. I didn't know why. I didn't know I was fighting a werewolf. But I had the silver and I had holy water with me. So the daughters, like in The Exorcist, they're cursing me out.
You had no Bible for this shit?
No, I had a Bible with me. But the Bible, I just didn't use it until like after I was like setting everything up. But like this Bible was like really, 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 really old. And because it's only used for exorcisms. I don't know why. And I had the cross with me. The cross was also made out of silver. So the daughter's, cursing me out and everything. She's tied up to the bed. And I use Archangel Michael's cloth to wrap her feet together. I bless it with holy water. And I get the Bible. I have the rosary in my hand, and then I have the holy water and the Bible. So as I'm beginning the prayer, she starts freaking out because, it hurts the demon. I'm getting her holy water. And at one point, I'm about to finish the prayer. I can't say it. I cannot finish it. You ever felt like when you're angry, when you're sad and you want to talk, but it feels like you have barbed wire on your throat?
Yeah.
It was like that, but I just couldn't. I wasn't sad or anything. I was just like, I guess fear got to me. I couldn't say it. I honestly could not say it. And the girl broke out of her chains, but her feet were still tied because of the cloth and the holy water. But as I'm about to finish, I couldn't say it, and she, started getting up, and that's when I woke up, and I was like in a stiff position, and I was like, okay, what the fuck was that about? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck was that about? So I went to ChatGPT, and basically it said, you were a priest because, often represents, you have authority, guidance, and morality, and then you have your sense of responsibility. Now, and then she's like, the call of New York, it often depends on you. Even outside your immediate circle, you depend on people. And it said the possessed daughter, influence, by negative forces or hidden struggles that you don't know about. And, in a sense, under attack, even a part of yourself. The ritual, the cloth, protection, battle, courage against evil. The holy water is purification. The old Bible is ancient core beliefs of mine. And the silver rosary is the purity of faith and inner clarity. And then, losing the word at the end means that you couldn't finish the prayer. It means a feeling of being blocked. Something stops you from completing the fight. Basically, self-doubt, feeling unprepared, or the fear of failing when others are counting on you. And basically, like it said, the main point is responsibility versus self-doubt. And then your internal battles, and then the faith. And it's like, in short, your dream is showing the protection as a leader figure, but also revealing the fear of not being able to finish the fight when it really counts. The possession may reflect outside negativity and your own internal doubts, and your subconscious is testing how far your spiritual armor. Basically, it's all in my mind. Basically, fighting demons and everything. So I was like, what the fuck? So I told my mom, and my mom's like, it's because you don't have God in your heart. Whatever. I went to my sister, my older sister, and she's like, yeah, it's basically saying like, that basically says like a battle against your inner demons. Didn't know I have inner demons. I thought I was just kind of chill like that, but I guess not.
I mean, like, the thing is that I'm sure there's some truth to what it told you, but there are just some dreams where there's just no messaging, and it just happens. Like, for example, I had a dream once where I was in a cabin with my brother, and he was working on like something electrical, and I see this decently big spider, like this decently big like brown recluse. I'd say it's like 5 inches long.
Oh, fuck, brown recluse.
It crawls up onto my hand, and it bites me. Now, when I woke up, I still felt the pain of that bite. That shit fucking hurt. But at the end of the day, I don't really think there's a meaning to that. It's just, I got bit by a spider and woke up. Like, sometimes dreams just exist. They don't really have a meaning behind it. Especially when you're off like the fucking Benadryl. I have a very specific... Or the melatonin. I have a very specific experience when being drugged up and having a dream. I had one where I woke up and there was nobody there. Nobody was in the world. My dogs were. However, the thing is that I have 2 dogs, right?
Yeah.
And their colors were swapped. The big one was the black and white, and the Boston Terrier was brown. So that was the first sign that it was weird. I look around, my family isn't home. I look outside, the sky is like a fucking LSD pattern. It's like the rainbow. Even stranger than what it already was.
Like a tie-dye.
Yes. So then, I walk around more. There's still nobody. And then I find this wasp.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt. I don't know why it sounded like Brad Pitt. It just did.
A wasp that sounded like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, so it was talking and it sounded like Brad Pitt. And so I went on a drive with this wasp that was like Brad Pitt. Now, keep in mind, I had this dream when I was like 15. I didn't know how to drive yet. I had no experience at all, but I was still driving. And so we had like an existential conversation about like life and psychology. And like his argument was that there is no we were talking about the meaning of life.
Mm-hmm.
And his argument was that there is no meaning of life. And I said, I disagree. I think the meaning of life is the pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Is the pursuit of your own happiness and others' happiness. And so it was just kind of a back and forth about that. Now, even barring the fucking conversation about life itself, the meaning of life, what does that have to do with anything? That dream doesn't necessarily have meaning. Because, I mean, like, yeah, sure, yet again, the fucking conversation about the meaning of life, but it doesn't explain why the sky was tie-dye. It doesn't explain why my dogs were opposite colors. It doesn't explain why there was no single human being that was in that dream. Sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
And granted, that dream was just really fucking weird because I took a bunch of ibuprofen and acetaminophen before then because
Oh yeah, that
I had a really bad headache that night.
Good.
Yeah.
No, like I know, because I also believe in that. Sometimes dreams are just dreams. Like your mind needs to wander and make shit up. But sometimes there are dreams where there is some type of meaning to it. Like mine, I kind of believe that it does. Like maybe like I'm battling, like I can perform, but I can't really. I'm afraid to fail. Something like that. I do believe in that because I am afraid to fail. But then there's dreams like I'm gonna use Justin's for example in the second episode. He told me that he dreamt that there was a watermelon on top of the hill, and he was at the bottom of the hill, and the watermelon started rolling, and he woke up. Sometimes dreams just dream.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all dreams have no meaning. That's just absurd. There are some dreams that do have meaning.
That's what I'm saying. Like some dreams are just dreams for your mind to wander, and some have meaning. Like Justin's watermelon dream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a dream that I had that actually did have meaning. But the thing is that, and the problem with most dreams is that I don't remember most of mine. There's only a few that just like really stuck with me that much. And dreams are a very complicated subject. Because, I mean, like, at the end of the day, there are some people that just have, like, these, every single time they dream, they always have, like, this existential, like,
crisis.
Meanings and all of this, yes. And then there's some, like me, who very often than not don't have nonsensical, just your brain is just making shit up for the hell of it.
Yeah. Look, that's just the way the brain works, I guess.
Like, I have had one dream that I think did have meaning. And this was when I was about like 15. And I was at the top of a comedy show. Okay. Not too crazy. I mean, when I was like 13, I wanted to be a comedian. So this wasn't even that crazy of like a thing. But the thing is that the entire crowd was just me.
Okay.
I was doing the comedy show. I was at the top, but every single one of the crowd was just another me.
Okay.
So I took that as like I need to stop thinking that first of all, I need to stop thinking that everybody cares about what my.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of lagged there.
I had a bit of lag there. My bad.
Yeah.
Like I took that dream as a sign that, first of all, I need to stop thinking that everybody needs to know my opinions on some topics. There are some topics where myself and many people need to learn to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. And you know that dream showed me that. And the other thing that I took from it is that if I want to actually make people laugh, I need to actually vary up the content that I produce.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I still post what I find funny. But I don't post everything that I find funny because not everybody finds it funny. At the end of the day, it's a two-way relationship whenever you're like actually posting shit. Like it doesn't even matter like what status you are, whether you're just like some random like 100 follower meme page to a stand-up comedian. Not everyone is going to have your exact sense of humor. They might have something similar, but not exactly like that. Yeah, that dream was the only time where I actually took away something from that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just the way the brain works will always be weird. And I'm pretty sure you can agree on me with that one.
Yeah, it's just... There's a reason scientists don't really fully understand the brain still. I mean, it's one of the most mysterious parts of the human body, which makes sense because the brain powers everything.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's going to be mysterious because it's basically just a biological fucking computer. It does so much shit at once to the point where it makes sense that it does dreams, because when you're sleeping, this is the main reason we have dreams, is because when we're sleeping, the brain has to do something in order for us to not completely shut down. Basically, it make it so that we don't become unconscious while sleeping. That's the main reason why dreams happen. It's basically so that the brain can occupy itself still.
No.
So obviously it's going to be weird. But the brain can very often tell you shit that even you don't know. So there's definitely times where you can take meaning from it. But there's also times where it's just fucking about. Which, in my general opinion, is most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. Well, ladies, everybody listening, that's gonna be the episode for today. Thank you, Claude, for joining.
No problem. I love doing this.
And speaking, if you guys are watching out, if you guys actually reached to the end of the episode, hopefully we make another podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
With
maybe.
Scheduling ahead of time and not drama-based podcast. If you like, not, I don't want to. If you know, you know. Once again, thank you, Claude. Oh, before you go or before we end this session, do you have any inspiring words for anybody that's watching, or maybe a joke or something?
Inspiring words.
Inspiring words or a joke or something.
It's a very good question. I think a good message at the end of the day, and it's one that I do preach. It's okay to have a little bit of an ego. Now, don't have too much of an ego to the point where you're just straight up a fucking narcissist. But actually being confident in yourself is far better than just having none at all. Because at that point, do you really benefit anymore? Not really.
I get the shivers whenever I'm thinking about you.